Hey guys, this is Alex here from 814EDC. Thank you so much for stopping back in and check out this video and checking out my channel. Today we got a knife review of the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. So a little bit about this knife. I've had this knife since, when did these come out? I think Blade Show or SHOT Show 2019, I think. They announced them and I got on the pre-order list. It was my birthday present for that year. And I think I had to wait until mid-March, early April, something like that. And I got it. So this is like the first run edition of this knife, which is pretty cool. For materials, we're working with black FRN scales, which, FRN, you know. I personally don't have an issue with FRN, but I know a lot of people have a gripe with it, but me personally, I don't mind it. For blade steel, we're working with CTS BD1N blade steel, which is a relatively, it's definitely known, but I feel like it's kind of like not used that much. Like I can only think of this knife, and I know some Kaiser models that came out with it like within the last couple months. But other than that, it doesn't seem like it's like a really heavily used sort of knife steel. I don't really know because of this. I don't really know where you would put it on like a budget to premium sort of scale, with like premium being like 10V, 204P, 20CV, M390 like on the upper scale, and like budget being like 8013 MOV, 440C, stuff like that. I think it'd be somewhere kind of like, it's definitely in the budget side of things from what I've understood and from my use, but it's definitely better than like some of the real low end budget things. And then we're working with a loop over style deep carry pocket lip, which I think is awesome. I think Spyderco did a really good job by pairing a lightweight knife like this with such a lightweight and low profile pocket clip. I think it works awesomely with this knife. Goes to the butt end of the knife, disappears in the pocket. Really good thing that Spyderco did here. And then this is technically, it's a linerless knife, but there's a little bit of a liner where the compression lock, which is a type of lock that we're working with here because it's Spyderco's, their lock system that they come up with. So that side has like the liner that goes down it, but the other side there is no liner. And something that I also did not know until a couple of days ago actually, when I took this apart and like lubed it up and sharpened it, I did not really realize that there was only one liner on this knife, or one washer, because I took it apart and I was like ready to put it back together, and I was like, shit, did I like misplace my liner or washer or like lose it? And then I got on Google and looked it up and found some Reddit thread, and someone said no, the Para 3 lightweights only come with one washer, which I honestly did not know about, so that kind of shocked me. It's on the compression lock side with the like half liner, and the other side does not have a washer, so something new to me. And I think that's it for material. So for action, this knife, it's pretty good. It's a very lightweight knife, and the blade's heavy enough where you're gonna do your thumb flick or your middle finger flick, and it rockets out pretty good. So you can do your middle finger flick, you can thumb flick it, and then you can like slow roll it. But if I'm being honest, who slow rolls knives really nowadays? The middle finger flick action is where it's at. And for me, it works great. Like, it's very fun to play with. It's very fun to fidget with. Very satisfying. You get a nice sound from it, nice like thwack when it opens. And then closing, I've had this knife for quite a while. This and my Benchmade Bug Out are the two knives that I've had the longest in my collection. Like, for a while, there was like a stretch where I kind of got into EDC, which I had a Ontario Rat 2 and D2. I carried it for quite a while, but then I was like, I started watching YouTube. I started like kind of getting into the scene a little bit more, and I wanted to upgrade a little bit. So I got the Benchmade Bug Out for the Christmas, and then this for my birthday the same year, because my birthday's in January. So I kind of got them right around the same time, and I carried these two for quite a long time. Like, they were the main two knives in my collection. They really were my collection that I carried. So this saw a good amount of use, and So at this point, what I'm getting at is it's very well broken in, and it's very, you know, fun to play with. And I mean, it's very job shreddy because, you know, it just falls shut. It'll do that all day, which is very satisfying. Like I said, it's very fun to play with. So action, I have no complaints about it. It's very good. One thing I forgot to note about materials and stuff like that, it's not centered at all. Like I can just show you guys. From what I've read with these knives, I'm screwing up the camera angle here. There we go. Sorry about that. From what I've read and understood, and for me experiencing it, these lightweight knives, especially the pair of threes with no liner on the one side, they tend to gravitate towards the side with the liner. So I guess it's very, very rare and hard if you're to get a very full, like, dead on center pair of three lightweight, which, like I've said in previous videos, the blade centering doesn't bother me as much as long as it has a good action and there's no blade play. I can live with no blade centering or poor blade centering, and it just kind of is what it is. So just something to point out that I thought was interesting. So next we're going over ergos, and ergonomically, you know, it's a Spyderco. Spydercos have, as a whole, very good ergonomics, and this has, you know, it's no slouch in that sort of realm. You get a forward finger choil here, which does have jimping, and then there's also some jimping up top on the thumb rib. So I can get, you know, a full grip with my 4 fingers on here when I'm locked in like this. It's very comfortable. You know, it's very positive. I can, you know, I feel like I can do some work with it. I have a very good control over it. And even when I'm not using the forward finger choil, I can still have a good, comfortable grip. The jimping, you know, this is what I would consider good jimping. It's kind of right in the middle. It's not too aggressive. It's not going to tear your skin up. It's pretty comfortable. So yeah, like I said, it's you know, it's Spyderco. Spydercos are pretty well known for having pretty good ergonomics, especially the pair of threes and the PM2s, with that big blade ramp and, you know, just a big forward finger choil. Just very positive. Excuse me. And then lastly, we got carry. So, you know, this is kind of self-explanatory too. You got a very, very lightweight knife. You get a deep carry, or a lube over style deep carry pocket clip. It carries like a dream. It's a pretty thin knife. You know, no really width to talk about there. The one thing that, this damn computer. You know, I was talking, or in my last video, Kevin from Lefty EDC commented about some app that he uses that keeps his, like, computer on. So you think that with me running into this issue every video, I should probably do that. So I actually need to make a note so I should just do it right after this video to get it done with, like download the app so I don't have to keep getting real close to you guys and you guys are like, oh, what's this dude doing next to the camera? Just turn my computer back on so it quits dying on me. Where was I? Oh, carry. Yeah, carry, I mean, this thing carries like a dream. It goes super deep carry, or super deep into the pocket. I mean, like I said, this pocket clip is phenomenal. I love wire pocket clips. They go to the butt end of the knife. They're just so low profile. They're so easy in and out of pocket. If you guys can see on the FRN, this has like a sort of smooth, like where the Spyderco logo is, so it doesn't chew your pants up. It's just very, very comfortable. The only thing that I could knock it is kind of how the Spyderco blades are designed and like how kind of wide they are. But I mean, when it's in your pocket, you really can't notice it. Like it's pretty good. Like I said, that's really kind of just nitpicking at the fact that it's a little wide, because overall it's very good. So my final thoughts on this knife are, it has served me very well. Like I said, this and the bug out were kind of my two primaries for probably about a year. I would rotate them in and out almost daily. So it saw a lot of use. It saw a lot of carrying. For the CTS BD1N blade steel, for it being a relatively, to me at least, kind of, my nose is itchy, not really unknown, but kind of a new steel. It's held up pretty well. I've only had to sharpen it a handful of times for my usage of it, and I've carried this at work a lot. I do landscaping this summer, and sometimes when I'm mowing grass for the whole day, I'll wear gym shorts. This was perfect. Just throw in there and kind of just carry on all day. I really didn't know it was there at all. So it served me very well. I'm going to bring up a point which I brought up in my last video of it was a SOG Terminus XR review. It's kind of the same point where if you're looking into getting a compression lock, which is a Spyderco patented lock, I think. It has to be. I don't think there's any other. It's definitely Spyderco because I've never seen any other knife companies put a compression lock on their knives. So if you're looking to get your foot into the door of a Spyderco and you want to try a compression lock, but you don't want to go to like a Para 3 or a PM2 or even a Little Native, because the cheapest of that bunch would be a Little Native, and those are $120-ish, and the PM2s and Para 3s are kind of like $150 and above. This would be a really good option, because these are sub $100. Brand new, I think this was like $95 or $98, so at the time I was kind of just like getting into the whole knife thing and like learning about all these new materials and stuff like that. So I didn't really understand as much, but now that I understand materials and I understand what good materials are, if I'm being honest, $95-ish is kind of expensive for a knife like this. I mean, you're getting a good pocket clip, and you're getting, I guess, like I said, I don't know where to put this blade steel. It's definitely not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. And you're getting, I've said that I don't mind FRN, but you are getting very cheap plasticky handles, which in today's day of age, for $100, you can get much nicer handle materials, much nicer blade steel, kind of an overall better build. But if you're looking to get into a Spyderco with a compression lock, you can probably find these in the secondary for maybe in the 70s that are used. So it'd be a good starting model for you, if you want to see if you like the compression lock, to get your feet wet before you spend much more money on a PM2 or a Para 3 or anything like that with a compression lock. So I think it has a really good area for that. Have I regretted owning this knife? No, not at all. It's been a very good knife for me. I actually kind of got this because at the time I did not want to spend money on a Para 3. And by me carrying it and by me enjoying it and using it, it made me want something more premium and something more expensive and something more better built, I guess you could say, which led me to getting a Para 3, excuse me. So, I mean, I like the knife. It's done very well for me. I would recommend it to really anybody. Like I say that all the time about knives that I'm reviewing, that I would recommend it, but really I don't think I've come across a bad knife so far. I would recommend all the knives that I've bought and I've used and I've added to my collection just because they're good knives. And this is included in that batch. So yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say about the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight. Got a band-aid on my finger because I cut my finger earlier on the Hogue Deca. So I guess it's finally my knife now, right guys? That's how it kind of works. So my finger's a little slippery on the FRN. But yeah, we got the Para 3 lightweight made by Spyderco. That'll be it for today, guys. Thank you for stopping in and checking out this video. Leave any comments down below. Just tell me if you like the knife. Tell me if you've experienced it or if you want to experience it. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.